So how to showcase your brand. Okay. The first I put down here is resume. Now this is going to seem very obvious to you. Well, of course, everybody does a resume. Well, let me explain what I mean by that. When you think about your resume, it can't just be a laundry list of all your accomplishments. That's the resume of yesteryear. Well, I've done A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Unless your resume has a brand under which your accomplishments are supporting, people don't know how the whole thing hangs together. Because for them, it's just going to be a this, that, and the third thing. And they're not necessarily going to know what is your value. What kind of job are you looking for? How can you help us solve our problems? So and I have a whole resume presentation on this, and for those watching this video, it's on YouTube. It's called Resumes That Land in the A Pile, and it talks specifically about how to do a resume that's very branded. And one of the suggestions that I make is to have something called a career title. Now, career title is not your job title in your experience. It's an overarching title, right? It's something to the effect of, mission-driven nonprofit executive, something along those lines. Or it's going to be, public relations professional, constituent-oriented public relations. Could be whatever, but it really needs to focus on your lane. Watch this. It always has to focus on your lane, but sometimes it can focus on your tribe. Okay. So let me make it a little more specific. Let's say you're a marketing professional. Well, in marketing, for those of you in marketing, there's a difference between what we call B2B marketing and B2C marketing. Business to business versus business to consumer. Now, that actually is tribal. Why? Because within the marketing world, people have to know that you know how to market to a business, which is one particular kind of skill set, versus marketing to consumers, which is an entirely different kind of skill set. So a career title could be B2B marketing executive, that kind of thing, right? Or it could be environmental or healthcare communications professional. Do you see where you put your tribe in front of your career title, and that helps people to know that you're a tribal person and you're a lane person, presuming you have a tribe. And if you don't have a tribe, it's fine. Okay? And then what you do is, in your accomplishments underneath your resume, next to every single accomplishment, label your accomplishments in bold with a competency that relates to that brand. If you start with the career title at the top, and you figure out what those your kind of sweet spot, your value proposition competencies are, figure that out and kind of label it a nice text box and kind of make sure it's all nice and pretty at the top. Underneath that, then you justify it, you back it up by not just listing your accomplishments in a laundry list, but making sure that there's a nice bolded label next to every single one so it all ties together. You use the same competencies at the bottom as you're using at the top. And again, you're welcome to look at that video if you want more specifics. The LinkedIn profile, okay? Now, LinkedIn is really the only place in sort of a public fashion that you can speak in first person. In fact, LinkedIn wants you to speak in first person. I don't know if you know this. If you were to start your summary right now, if you don't have a summary, or at least they used to, in gray letters, prompt you, and they would say, they were asking you to say, I am passionate about ... Like they want you to talk about your personal passion, which is a beautiful thing, because you can't do that on your resume, can you? Even if, as much as I tell you that you should brand your resume, it's still third person. It's still this sort of, right, this kind of rigid thing that I don't know, it's just the way it is right now. It's what we expect. You can't use first person on your resume, but you can and should on LinkedIn, and more so than can and should. You want to speak to your professional heart, that brand. It's the brand, it's the brand, it's the brand. You've got 2,000 characters. Let me say it again. You have 2,000 characters available to you in your LinkedIn summary, which is approximately 300 words-ish, 310, something like that. Use them. Use the space that you have. And again, on YouTube, I have another video on using LinkedIn like a pro, and I give some examples. All right? It just happens to be my own writing style. You can use this writing style that's comfortable for you, but what I would encourage you to do, or what I would encourage you not to do, is not to have a generic bio. Not to have a 3-line little summary of what's in your experience section. Say something. Say something meaningful to your tribe or to that target employer, whether it's about your lane or it's about your tribe. Say something that showcases the value. It's really, it's free advertising. LinkedIn has really become like a personal website. Would you agree? Right? In fact, LinkedIn wants it to, they still want you to feel like that it is that way. That's why they put the blog post feature in there. right? That's why they allow you under your, I don't know if you know this, under your summary, or actually under any of your jobs, you can put videos in there on your profile page. You can put documentation. You can put or post articles that you're interested in, not just in your feed, but actually on your summary. I mean, they really, really want you to treat it like your own personal website, and it's F-R-E-E free. Why not use it, okay? Again, being a thought leader. Talked about this, and here are several ways. I mentioned it earlier, but I'm just going to laundry list it for you. All kinds of ways you can be a thought leader. We didn't mention LinkedIn groups yet. LinkedIn groups are a great way to be a thought leader. Trust me, there's a tribal group and a lane group for everything. Local, national, you pick it. Go to the group section and go find your tribe. Go find your lane people. Find the people who speak your language. Post questions that are provocative. Answer questions in a heartfelt, meaningful way. Let people know that you're actually a SME, you're a subject matter expert in your area. We talked about blogging, Twitter, Instagram, all of that. And again, you don't have to be the biggest expert in it. But if you're consistent in getting out there, right, it's going to help bolster your brand. Trade publication articles. Okay, so there are some trade publications that are standalone. They're just, you know, publications. Or they're a for-profit company, let's say, owns them. But a lot of trade publication articles are owned by associations. All right, and right, Ken, people want people want content. Everybody's looking for content, free content, but that's all right. They're looking for content. And if you've got something to say, most trade pubs will allow you to submit something, presuming that it's a good content. Again, free advertising for you, right? Going to networking events, okay? Tribal, lane networking events. Groups like this are fantastic. You get to meet a whole collective group of people. But in addition to the generic groups like this, you gotta go out there and you've gotta hobnob and talk the lingo, right, with your people, right? So if you're in public relations, you show up at the local chapter of the Public Relations Society of America, PRSA, or the AMA, American Marketing Association, or the Human Resource SHRM, the Society for Human Resource Management, whatever it is that you connect with, make sure that you show up and that you're speaking the language in a way that people can hear. And speaking opportunities. Now, I understand that not everybody's a natural public speaker, and that's fine. But for those of you who feel like you could, remember, this isn't like you have to do everything. Pick which ones work for you. But if you do have a gift for speaking, most organizations are looking for free speakers, okay? As long as Gio raises his hand, yeah, here they want one too, right? So
vouch for that.
You can vouch for that, right? Most groups are looking for opportunity. They want people to come in who are subject matter experts, right? Who can speak, as long as you're not looking to do it for a fee, although nothing wrong with that either. That's a whole other conversation about how you could build a business model. Seriously, if you are a subject matter expert, you could build a business model. But just for branding purposes, great thing. And I'm sure there are a lot of other things I haven't put on here. But do you see what I'm talking about? There's a lot of options that you have. Okay, so what I'd like to do is have you guys break up into very small groups. I think groups of 2 are probably going to work better with the seating that we have here, but if not, you could just push your chairs back, do groups of 3, however you want to divide up. And I want you to talk amongst yourselves about, first of all, do you have a tribe with which you strongly affiliate, and if so, what is it, okay? Or you might have had a tribe, but you kind of fell into the tribe, and maybe you're not exclusively married to that tribe, but really you want to brand yourself as a lane person, okay? And no matter what, you got to figure out what is your lane. So do you have a tribe? What is your lane? And then again, what is the urgent problem that you're in a unique position to help solve? All right? So it's a very simple exercise. I'm going to give you a solid 10 minutes or so to do that.